Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, AfroMattt himself, Matt. Just joined today by no one. We're doing another solo ep. It's been a little chaotic trying to get this episode out on time. Thursdays, as usual. Strictly business up in this podcast. And, like I always say, this ain't your grandma's podcast. This ain't your mama's podcast. We talk about some deep shit. We talk about some dark shit. We talk about some experimental type shit. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, we're getting in here. I'm gonna crack a bud and we're gonna get rolling. So, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. First off, welcome. This is a podcast where we, I'd say, a nihilist view on most things. Try to have some fun, try to crack some jokes, and we try to give you the news as it is. Everyone says, "Hey, we're the news." That doesn't work. I don't believe that because, as Noam Chomsky says, any news that is sponsored by advertisements are being paid by corporate elites, and therefore sort of untrustworthy. I'm being paid by no one, so you can trust me. That's how you know you can trust me. I don't get paid for this. This is coming from, this is from my heart to yours, and from my lips to hopefully yours. Baby, what's up? What's good? But let's just get into it. So I try to collect a little bit of the news, what's happening. We call this Jew news because I am Jewish and I'm giving you the news. So Jew news. And not the news is not about Jews. None of these news articles are about Jewish people. This is a Jew delivering the news. I should change it because Jew news sounds like it's specifically news only about Jews. No, this is news delivered by a Jew. The news Jew. I could change it to that. I'm the news Jew, but that's we're just gonna hop right into it. So, crypto is over. All the crypto punks and all the crypto apes, all the crypto bros. I know you know them. They're out there. They're like, you'll if you don't know a crypto bro, then you are probably a crypto bro. It's like one of those things like look to your left, look to your right. One of you will ask the other two if they're invested in Bitcoin. It's just a thing that happens. Hey, I try not to do it. I try not to do it, but sometimes I'm like, hey man, have you seen crypto right now? It's like bad. Thankfully, if you've listened to this podcast for the last I'd say probably 2 months, I've been pretty grim on my outlook of the economy. I told everyone to I'm not an investor, so this is all speculation. I'm not a professional investor advisor, and this is not investment advice, but the the economy is going to collapse. Housing market will probably follow. It's hard for me to believe that everything, dude. The stock market is completely red. Everything's red except the housing market. That's hard for me to believe. I think it'll catch up soon. Once people realize that they can't buy a house if they can't afford surviving where they're at right now. Taking big major steps like buying a house isn't probably going to happen when people are struggling to make it to work, buy bread, feed their family, pay rent, keep the lights on. All that stuff is kind of going to be getting in the way of people buying a house. Now, of course, you'll have the people that, like always, during a home crisis, a home crash, or a housing market crash, people move from rich places to broke places. So people will come to our area. So if you're in California, dude, it's ripskis. Let me know. I'm not a realtor, but I can connect you to one. I'm here to help. I am your client, all things client care. But for real, in the description below, business inquiries. If you're looking for a home, hit me up in Arkansas, the Northwest area. But yeah, so cryptocurrency, crypto bros. One final cry for crypto bros. Luna crashes to zero. This is the first coin to plummet to become completely worthless. So I'm going to try to explain this, and I'm not a crypto expert. I made a little cash. That's because I'm a gambling addict, and I liked my odds. It was during the whole Dogecoin boom with Elon Musk tweeting Dogecoin to $1. It went to 80 cents. I cashed out at like 70. No, it was like 60. I waited a little too long, but look, I made a clean 3K. We were chilling, okay? And then I got an apartment, so it was a nice cushion. So I'm not a professional cryptocurrency whatsoever. I don't even know I'm going to be honest, I don't even know I don't even know where to find a blockchain. If you did a blockchain lineup like they do with like criminals, and you told me to point out the blockchain in the lineup, I would not be able to point out what a blockchain is, right? People tell me it's a ledger, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even really know what a ledger is, but I swear I'm not mentally retarded. I assume a ledger is like a wedding, like when you go to a wedding and you put your name down, you're like, hey, I was here, I showed up, you may not have seen me, I shake your hand, I know the day goes fast, I put my name down in the ledger. That's what when I think ledger, that's what I think of. But let's look, we're at a computer, let's do ledger definition. A ledger, a book with all the monetary transaction. Okay. Okay, so it's like accounting shit. Okay. Anyways. Cryptocurrency Luna. So Terra Luna, a crypto coin I had no idea about. Apparently it reached $100. And it has recently, as I'm recording this, it is Wednesday, May 18th. On Wednesday, May 13th, Luna crashed to 0.01219 cents. So almost 2 cents, which is, I'd say, a fall from grace. So going from $100 a token, a coin, a blockchain, to essentially 2 cents, that's what I call a major L. Now, there's some theories as to why this happened, what caused it. These people explain it a lot better. I'm going to delegate this out to my man Tik Tok. So this guy explains it a little bit. He's going to use a lot of buzzwords, like, of course, blockchain and whatnot. The major thing to note here is that this is a conspiracy theory, but I like it because it includes BlackRock, and they're always fun.
There's a crazy theory of how one of the biggest crypto coins ever, Luna, just went to zero today. This is insane. So there's been massive speculation that both BlackRock and Citadel are behind this. Mind you, Citadel are the people from the Robinhood scandal. So there's 2 coins you need to know. There's Luna and then there's UST. UST is a stable coin. It's meant to be $1. And it's supposed to stay that way.
So UST, I think, is United States token. It's like the crypto coin that's supposed to be a standard US dollar. But like any coin, it can be traded up and down and sold. So it can go below $1. It can go up. It can go up $1 if people have faith in the dollar. I assume that's how that works.
They're both pegged to each other, so if one goes really down, you can expect the other to go down. They need to stay pretty stable, and they do this with different burn mechanics. Now let's go on to what this theory says. So they took
Look, I don't know what a burn mechanic is. Not important.
a couple $100 million of Bitcoin and swapped a quarter of that for. So they took a couple.
Okay, so BlackRock and Citadel.
Now let's go on to what this theory says. So they took a couple $100 million of Bitcoin and swapped a quarter of that for UST. Now, here's a crazy. Took a couple $100 million of Bitcoin and swapped a quarter of that for UST. Soon after this, they hit up the owner of Luna, asking them if they could personally trade a lot of Bitcoin for UST. By doing this, they own a lot of the market.
Now, I don't know how that's not insider trading, talking to the owner of Luna, but who knows? BlackRock can do whatever they want.
A lot of the money within it. Then they dump both the Bitcoin and the Luna, causing a massive liquidity shock, draining the markets, and significantly lowering the price very fast. Look how fast it's going.
Anytime you sell $1 billion worth of any stock, I imagine it causes mass chaos. And that's why BlackRock owning so much, they own $10 trillion in assets from major companies around the world. If they just decided one day to sell everything, I think it would just collapse the global economy.
Now this wasn't even the real kicker. The real kicker is the anchor protocol. If you give them UST, they'll give you a nice fat 20% APR for giving it to them. Took a couple $100 million. You give them UST, they'll give you a nice fat 20% APR for giving it to them.
I don't know what an APR is.
That UST is pegged to Luna, and it's a stable coin. So if Luna goes all the way down, it starts to lose a lot of stability. This causes a lot of instability through everything, and they can't really promise that 20% APR anymore. When everyone's trying to sell, everyone's trying to withdraw, there becomes a massive shortage in the market of people being able to buy. This causes a significant price decrease really fast, like I said. The sell-off would continue even further when the UST price of $1 actually went below $1, so it no longer was a stable coin, which just caused more sell-offs and made everything go lower. You give them.
So, yeah, so he did a pretty good job explaining it. I mean, I didn't understand a lot of what he said. Essentially, Citadel and BlackRock, this is the theory, because they have a blockchain. So they can see kind of who did this. I guess they maybe use different names or something, but they realized that it was in massive scale. So there's only there's only a few people that have massive amounts of. The fact that BlackRock is in crypto is kind of concerning. But I mean, I guess free game for anyone, so go for it. But yeah, so BlackRock, Citadel, power combo dumped their money. Talked to the Luna president to buy Luna, whatever, and then sold Luna, essentially plummeting it to zero. Seems like a nice backstab to the president of Luna, who let them sell on the down low. I don't know what's going on. But this crash of Bitcoin does have a lot of interesting. I've noticed a lot of people, even within the crypto space, losing faith in crypto. Like, hey, if Luna can go to zero, why can't Bitcoin? Bitcoin has, I mean, essentially, I don't think any of these coins really have value. Like, I can't buy my meal with Bitcoin yet. So until then, Bitcoin's not going to help anyone in a recession unless I can buy gas with at a pump with Bitcoin. Speaking of gas, dude, I've been driving hella close to the. I pulled up to my work today on zero, just drifting in on zero. I was cruising down hills with no, just cruising down hills, no gas, bro. It was a close one. I get a thrill. I get a thrill when I see that thing at zero. I'm like, I can make it. One more mile, I can make it. My car has like a little thing. It tells me the range I can make it. It's like, dude, you have 0 miles left on this run. That's when I get perky. So, but yeah, I used to never drive on zero, but now I'm just like cruising down the highway. I'm like, yeah, I got one more exit. I can I can cruise. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, crypto crashed. This is a pretty funny one. I like this isn't sad for me because I this is NFTs, and if you buy NFTs, I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you own NFTs. I don't know what to tell you except why, but someone just sold their Bored Ape Ethereum NFT for only $115. Today, Bored Ape number 835. That's a good one. Sold for just 150 USD. Today, Bored Ape sold for 115 DAI, and because DAI is a dollar-pegged stablecoin, we know how well stablecoins work right now. But an Ethereum NFT project is one of the most popular, valuable collections in the market today. But the cheapest available Bored Ape listed right now is 106 ETH, about 300,000. Some has theorized on social media that the seller thought the offer was for 115 ETH, about 385, rather than 115 DAI. That said, the NFT was sold on OpenSea, which lists the USD amounts for each cryptocurrency right alongside. It would be difficult to miss. I mean, how stupid do you feel? Someone says, feels like a tax evasion attempt. So this was on Twitter. They said, feels like a tax evasion attempt. They sold their mutant for $25 to the same wallet. They'll probably claim they were scammed and may even have the audacity to try to write it off. They bought the ape for 16 ETH. If it was a mistake, I wish them well. It's quite a loss. So, knowing the NFT is probably used for money laundering, you're probably just going to try to write it off and cut his losses from the oncoming major dip. So he's probably trying to hedge his bets. Yeah. Speaking of major sell-offs, Carvana laid off. Pull this up, Jamie. Carvana laid off 2,500 workers. I think it was some like 18% of their workers. Austin car company Carvana, blaming a recession in auto sales, said it's cutting 2,500 jobs and informed some workers that layoffs via Zoom. The online car retailer also sent an email to workers from CEO Ernie Garcia III that said most of the cuts would be the company's operations division. I'm sorry, he said in an email. Carvana plunged shares plunged $6.66. That's bad juju. The stocks tumbled 87% since the start of the year. I mean, who would have thought car vending machines aren't important? I don't even know who. If I see someone getting a car delivered to them, I mean, dude, you're definitely getting thumped. I know this is kind of depressing, but I mean, it's like the news. So the recession took out baby formula. Baby formula supply shortage is getting worse. Great. New York, for months, stores nationwide have been struggling to stock enough baby formula. Manufacturers say that they're producing at full capacity and making as much formula as they can. But, should I read this like Tucker Carlson? But for as long, they talk in really monotone. But it's still not enough to meet current demand. The out of stock rate for baby formulas hovered around 2 and 8 in the first half of 2021. But began rising sharply last July. Between November 2021, early April 2022, the out-of-stock rate jumped to 31%. Data from Data Assembly showed. I don't know why they stop, they go fast, and they stop, and then they put weird. That rate increased another 9% points in just 3 weeks in April, and now stands at 40%. The statistics show in 6 states, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, Missouri, Texas, and Tennessee. More than half of the baby formula was completely sold out during the week starting in April of 2024, Data Assembly said. Now why is baby formula going up? It's Tucker Carlson. But yeah, I mean it's an L either way. Imagine saying a baby shortage is an L. I can't believe I just said that. It is by definition an L because babies aren't going to be drinking. So I heard a couple theories on various websites. Does this go around the ears if I go check? I was wondering if this is like omnidirectional. But I heard theories that during COVID, a lot of people stocked up on baby formula and they realized they had a ton of demand. So during like the next quarter for their business, they're like, whoa, baby formula, go. But then they realized everyone was trapped inside. So they're like, oh shit, we shipped a lot of baby formula. A lot of it's sitting on the shelves. It'll go bad. They'll have to throw it out. So they pulled back on the last quarter. And then this quarter, they're like still pulled back with their same production. They put that same production out on the shelves. People are out now. It's been a full year. It's been fucking 2-3 years with COVID. But so people are out now. People are looking for baby formula. They're like, what's with the baby formula shortage? They're like, hey, we don't have any. So that's one theory. Another theory that I don't know, I haven't seen any proof on it, that some people say that it's being shipped overseas to Ukraine. It's possible. There's a lot of stuff being shipped to Ukraine, such as I don't even care. Honestly, Ukraine. That's what I think when I think of the Ukraine war. That's so bad. That's so bad. But no, yes, peace in Ukraine. It's horrible whatever's happening there. But also, in the same vein, I haven't looked at any of the news because, yeah, it's boring. Give me some good news, like a recession on our shores. Yeah, the Ukraine war fell off. That's a that's a tweet. I'm tweeting that. If you guys want to see my Twitter, I post really crazy stuff. So anytime I have a wild thought like that, I tweet it. If my boss saw my Twitter, I would surely get in trouble. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. This is interesting. Went from Ukraine war to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's in full on disintegration. So, this post was deleted. Great. Unfortunately. Okay, never mind. Well, Sri Lanka, in any ways, that was a video of them rioters attacking a rich person. But the riots in Sri Lanka are signs of things to come. I don't know how true that is, but Sri Lanka is on fire right now, and not because of the South Indian nation is roasting thanks to global warming. This is completely, you can tell this guy's completely biased, but he also has a friend in Sri Lanka, and not a good way to prove you're unbiased. So this is the most important part. Millions of Sri Lankans are facing an engineered affordable food crisis. The inflation rate rose in April alone 29%. Food prices are up 50%. The nation is run out of fuel. There are power outages 13 hours per day. The government doesn't currently have a finance minister. That's pretty epic. Sri Lankan stocks are the worst performing assets in the world right now, of course, besides Luna. People are lining up for basic necessities, including food, and the supply shortage are so desperate that they've run out of 14 essential drugs. So, next question, how did things get so crazy? He says the Prime Minister Mohanad I'm going to destroy this name. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. I'm not saying that again. I'm going to call him Mahinda. He's part of a wealthy, landlording, authoritarian, nationalist, populist family dynasty. Dude, this guy really learned some big words for this. That stopped a decades-long civil war, though not without committing war crimes, only to install themselves as rulers for life. This is like any civil war. This happened. The Lemon Civil War. Yeah, that guy. During that civil war, they won, and then he goes in power. Look, same thing with. Wait, pull this up. Jamie, pull that up real quick. The BLM, the coordinator of the BLM. Imagine they overthrow this lady's buying mansions. She's paying 900. Look at that. Wait, what is it? BLM. Head buys 4 houses. Pays baby daddy. BLM paid co-founders baby daddy for more than Trayvon Martin Foundation. So this is pretty epic. So so the filings for the first public disclosure made by BLM Foundation, which raked in $76 million, paid out only $225 million in grants to other nonprofits. Filings show. So where did the other money go, you may ask? Well, baby daddy. $6 million to LA headquarters, $800,000 to Kohlers Corporation LLC. The filing shows huge dollar amounts going to family members and close associates of Kohlers, eclipsing money of charities in the Trayvon Martin Foundation. We know why Patrice Kohler stepped down. 3.2 went to a real estate buying spree. Concerning for sure. Kohlers denied the money was used to buy residential properties in Georgia. Oh, wait, Kohlers is Kohlers is the BLM lady. She is BLM. So she has an LLC called Kohlers Protection LLC. So she paid herself $840,000 and then $3.2 million real estate buying spree. She denied that the money was used to buy real estate in Georgia and California, came from the charity, but those properties do not show up in the filing. The charity, great. I mean, Resistance Labs in Oakland, California, provided "quote-unquote" tech support for the group that raked in $500,000 for tech support. That's a lot of "quote-unquote" tech support. I mean, it's not really even a question that people will, no matter how selfless they seem, once they get their hands on some cash, it becomes a lot less about Trayvon Martin. It becomes a lot more about $3.2 million real estate spending sprees. I can't blame her. She got the bag, and like any sane business person, when you get the bag, you spend it. And she spent it on real estate, which is a good investment. So I can't really blame her. I can only really say, hey, maybe, I mean, what am I going to say? I mean, would I do the same thing? Maybe. I mean, you get a lot of people to donate to your phony whatever. I'm sure it did good. She said, 25 of it made it to good, or 25 million of it made it to good organizations. What happened to the 75 million? Who knows? But, or I guess what happened to the rest of the 50 million? Who knows? It's out there. Tech support. Let's see. So Rahapatska and his wretched family have been systematically looting his nation for years. The president decided to push through the biggest corporate tax cuts in Sri Lankan history. The nation's credit rating plummeted and lenders stopped loaning them money as the nation's foreign reserve cratered. So civilians started to get pissed. They rose up. Now they have mandatory curfews. They are being attacked by pro-government mobs. They burned down about the homes of 38 politicians, and they tried to rush the president's compound but were tear-gassed. They even managed to set fire to the president's ancestral home. So, yeah, it's sort of an eat the rich situation in Sri Lanka, which is, it's always been a thing. Eat the rich has always been a thing. May I remind you of let there be cake. Let them eat cake. That was during the French Revolution when it might be a myth, I think, but the queen was in her room. One of her people came in and he's like, yo, the people outside are starving. They're like really pissed right now, and they're hungry. They don't got food. And she just like, so he's like, hey, yo, they don't have bread. They need bread. They're hungry. They're demanding bread. And she's like, let them eat cake. Pretty much meaning like when she was out of bread, she would just eat cake. Right? Why don't they just eat cake? Why don't the peasants of France eat cake? Because they don't have it. But she was so disconnected. Sort of a thing that happens with the elite. You just get so disconnected from reality. You have no sense of the price of gas. That happened with Stephen. What's his name? Stephen Colbert. He's like, I drive a Tesla. What was it? I think I showed it on the podcast. He's like, gas is $5, but I drive a Tesla, so who cares? So Sri Lanka's kind of rest in peace. If you want to support them, hashtag go home Rahapakas and go home Goda. I don't know if anyone's using those. That's what Wikipedia said. I'm always hype on a regime change. It gets me hype. Of course, they're arresting activists and whatnot. It always happens. Same old, same old. Just hope that they can't wait for their new regime when they finally perform a successful civil war, and then someone gets in place, and then they become the ruling family and don't delegate any power. It's a really rare thing that happened in America where the people that won we're lucky because like people are like, we won the Civil War, and then people were like, yeah, dude, George Washington, you're kind of sick, bro. You want to be like president for like ever until you like die? And he's like, no, that's like being queen. That's like being king. He's like, nah, we're gonna have like term limits on this shit and stuff. It's gonna be mad ripe. And they're like, but can we call you your highness? And he's like, nah, it's Mr. President to you. And they're like, shit. That's true story. All right, let's get into the next news segment. This is aliens.
UFO believers. For the first time in half a century, Congress is officially looking into UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena. Most of us call them UFOs. They looked at this piece of video, which has been widely circulated on the internet. It shows a spherical object.
So this is Congress meeting to talk about UFOs, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Speeding past a U.S. fighter jet. Lawmakers pressed 2 defense officials on whether these objects pose a national security threat. Listen.
Because UAPs pose potential flight.
So this is the Honorable Ronald Moultrie, or Moultrie. He is a defense official.
Safety and general security risk. We are committed to a focused effort to determine their origins.
Very interesting. Now, it's possible that the increase of these incidents is...
This guy kind of sounds... They all kind of sound like Tucker Carlson.
...linked to better technology. More drones and, of course, more debris in space. However, out of 144 reports between 2004 and last year, only 1 has been explained. Since then, the number is closer to 400. So you can see they are increasing as we have more cameras in the sky and we have more eyes that can document what they're seeing with these cameras. I'm fascinated by this. I don't know how you explain what that object was, but I've heard flight engineers say it defies all rules of physics and science that we know, that an object can move in that direction.
That's what Joe Rogan said. Joe Rogan's my favorite engineer. But essentially, this is like the most interesting news. I'm surprised not more people are talking about this. It seems kind of like to sit on the back burner. It goes like, if I had to rank the importance right now, I'd say all the way at the top is probably, of course, I gotta say this, Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and then of course, girl boss, queen, all sizes matter, LGBTQ. And then we start working to the actual important things where we have, oncoming recession. A lot of people are going to get hit. A lot of people are going to get hurt. And then all the way on the bottom, of course, we have like Ukraine war somewhere in there. The Sri Lanka civil war, that could be kind of hype. That's developing. We'll see if that one gets cool, or if that one. We need a nuke. We need some threatens. If Putin comes out right like today and says with like a big red button that says nuke on it, and just like puts his finger over it, and it's just a picture of that, and he just tweets it, then it gets spicy. I'm back in. You got me. But until then, it's kind of sleep again. But all the way, so we got, Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, LGBTQ, all sizes are beautiful, whatever. And then all the way at the bottom is UFOs are real. Essentially, that's what our actual government is saying. A long time it's been, UFOs aren't really real, but now it's like just true, and not enough people are talking about it. It's interesting. I'm excited to see how that develops. But let's go into the TikTok. So if this is your first time listening to the podcast, we talk about some the news is always boring to talk to, so I always like to finish it off with a round of TikToks. So we're going to go in here. Oh, this is actually wild. This is actually wild. So this is audio files from an actual plane recording. So this passenger, his pilot passed out, and he had to fly the plane. He got on the mic and everything, so this is the recording.
I've got a serious situation here. My pilot has gone incoherent. I have no idea how to fly the airplane, but I'm maintaining in 9100.
The voice you're hearing is not a pilot, but a passenger radioing for help. Audio captured from Live ATC details the communications between the plane, a Cessna Caravan, and the control tower at Fort Pierce in Florida.
Number 333 Lima Delta, roger. What's your position? I have no idea. I can see the coast of Florida in front of me, and I have no idea.
Air traffic.
Lemur 33 Delta Niner. What is your location? I'm gonna be dead ass with you, my dog. I see Florida. I'm passing the coast right now. I'm just cruising, maintaining 9100.
The controller Robert Morgan was on break from working in the tower. Morgan is a 20-year veteran controller, but also a certificated flight instructor with 1,200 hours flying experience.
1,200 hours.
With the pilot? He is incoherent. He is out.
He's out.
3 Lima Delta, roger. Try to hold the wings level and see if you can start descending for me. Push forward on the controls and descend at a very slow rate.
Controller Morgan
That's
had
crazy.
not flown the specific type of plane, so he pulled up this photo of the layout of the instrument panel and talked the passenger through it step by step.
I knew the plane's flying like any other plane. I just had to keep him calm, point him to the runway, and just tell him how to reduce the power so he could descend to land.
Data from FlightAware shows the flight's path. The first challenge to controllers, locating the flight and pointing the passenger-turned-pilot to the airport.
3 Lima Delta, maintain wings level and just try to follow the coast, either north or southbound. We're trying to locate you. 10-4.
Morgan's instruction paid off, guiding the flight to a landing at Palm Beach. Aviation experts call it a remarkable feat that left other flights listening in stunned, including a commercial.
I didn't know that planes were like truckers and they can listen in on each other's conversations. Yeah, this is Pinky Dog to Bulldog 7. What's your 7? What's your 9? What's your dime?
Pilot waiting for takeoff.
Did you say the passengers landed the airplane?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, great job.
No flying experience.
That's an awesome story. So that's a feel good story. That's awesome. Not so feel good though is this guy. Dude, I hate homeless people. This is what I assume most homeless people are, but I know that this is like a massive exception. Look, that comes off bad. I don't hate homeless people. I know that's tough out there. I hate this kind of homeless person, the fake homeless people. So this guy, fake beggar. He's a fake beggar.
Don't feel sorry for this panhandler. He's phonier than a $3 bill.
Please help, but spare my wheelchair today and all my coins. Somebody take it.
Gary Thompson is known as the bogus beggar of Kentucky.
I appreciate you guys busting me.
Thompson is infamous in the bluegrass state for pretending
You see
he's
this
disabled.
shit?
He's
walking.
Has a degree in speech pathology and easily imitates the voice of a mentally disabled man.
My bead boy, I'm just playing. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta make some money.
That's got a baller. Yo, I gotta go. I gotta make some money.
Rolling in the dough. Thompson claims he makes 6 figures tax-free from his
That's baller. 6 figures tax-free for being a scumbag.
pathetic panhandling act. Our Louisville affiliate, Wave 3, took their cameras undercover to blow the lid off Thompson's sick sob story.
What's wrong with you?
Mine was hit by a truck when 9-year-old, but I no hurt that bad. Just a little bit. Left side hit me preset.
So what are you asking for?
Money for
Money?
You're really Gary Thompson.
No.
Yeah. My name is John Bull with Wave. Been watching you. You're the guy. You're the bogus beggar guy that makes $100,000 a year, right? Yeah, you are. You got a degree in speech pathology?
No. Don't want to be on camera. I break it. I will break it.
You can't. I thought you couldn't get out of your.
I can walk a little bit.
I know you can walk. I got video of you walking. I know.
I have video of you walking.
Faking it like this when there are real people out.
Dude, this guy's out on the streets and he has a beautiful, sultry voice. I got you walking.
I'm faking nothing.
Do those people train for having a good voice? Welcome to the AfroMattt Show. You are listening to episode 70. Let's get right on in. Radio host. You're listening to 101.7 The Cream. Yo, yo, yo. Samantha, you watched that new episode of Barry last night? Wow. That was exciting. Yo, yo, yo. I feel like they're always screaming yo at me. Let's continue with this.
What the fuck do you do at an office job? Can somebody explain that to me? I have no idea what goes on.
I'm so glad you asked. We are
So she asked, what is an office job? And she's stitching it. And this is pretty good because this is accurate.
consistently leveraging and empowering best practices in order to achieve intended outcomes. I know it can sound confusing because there are a lot of moving parts. So I'll give you some key takeaways. When we implement cross-functional work...
So when I went to Vegas and they had that conference for real estate agents, this is exactly how they sounded on stage. Like, this is like, imagine 8 hours a day sitting in Vegas and everyone has a lot to say about nothing.
Flows, it allows us to maximize our bandwidth. And it's not always easy. I mean, sometimes we have to trim the fat, move the needle, and circle back so that we're not constantly reinventing the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You may need to piggyback or table a conversation to
Put a
find
pin
that
in it.
mission-critical silver bullet. And if it sounds like you're just drinking from a fire hose, let me explain that aha moment that truly can be a game changer. So when you're in a thought shower of blue sky thinking, you're allowing each other to pick your brain and ultimately developing that robust network to reach Q4 initiatives.
We are trying to reach Q4 initiatives. If we don't reach Q4 initiatives, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I will have to table this conversation. We'll put a pin in it. We'll come back. We'll circle back later. But I will CC you in the email. I mostly chose that one because I was talking about that on 2 podcasts ago. I think it was maybe it was the last one about stupid phrases that people use in business. But let's go on to the next one. This one is pretty cool. This one's funny. This guy, so it's day 5 of ordering the snack wrap from McDonald's until they bring it back.
Of ordering a snack wrap until McDonald's brings them back.
Thank you for choosing McDonald's. What can I get for you?
Hi, can I have one snack wrap, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have those anymore.
Oh, do you have tortillas?
Yeah.
Lettuce?
Yeah.
Chicken?
Yeah.
Shredded cheese?
Yeah.
Ranch?
Yeah.
Sounds like you got snack wraps.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
He'll get it one day. One day they'll make him a snack wrap, I believe. I'm going to be there for when that happens. Let's finish it off with these two. So, I don't mean anything bad by this video. I just thought it was innately funny. So, this is, I'll say robust, full-figured woman in her TikTok of the day that she decided to share with the world was what she ate for the evening.
What I ate for lunch.
Jesus, that's loud.
Bread and ranch.
Bread and ranch. My favorite. If I had to choose snacks, it would go bread and ranch, chips and salsa, breadsticks. Bread and ranch. Excuse me. Bread and ranch.
Bloomin' shrimp.
Boomin' shrimp. Oh, that's a little spicy.
Caesar salad.
Caesar salad. Gotta stay healthy. Gotta keep yourself in check. Caesar salad's good.
Baked potato.
Baked potato, yes ma'am. All sizes, all beautiful.
Steak.
Finally finish it off with some steak. Steak and potatoes. Nice. I mean, hey, what she ate for lunch. I don't know what I want to. I don't want to know what she ate for dinner. To be honest, she probably. I don't know. But she eats like a linebacker. I mean, come on. It's funny. She's eating like she's The Rock. All right, we'll finish off with this. Why? Actually, I don't want to play this one. This one's rough. I'll play the first 5 seconds. You'll know why you can't play this. I will tweet this one, but I can't play it on the thing probably.
You know, during the Las Vegas shooting, Stephen Paddock supposedly spent over 3,000.
So this is Sonic the Hedgehog explaining the Las Vegas shooting. So, but that one will be that's exclusive content for my Instagram and Twitter followers. So check that out. That being said, we are coming to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, as always, I have you put in a special juicy little emoji in the chat today. If you made it to the end of this episode, put in the juice emoji. You know, like 3 water droplets. I guess it's the squirts emoji. It's like water spurting. It's the juicy one. Put in the juice if you made it to the end. If you want to check us out, we are on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Podcast, Microsoft Podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, pretty much everywhere. And if you're listening on Spotify, find us on YouTube at just AfroMattt. Search it in the search bar. Make sure you type in 3 T's. And yeah, thank you for listening, as always. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. You can shoot it in the comments on the YouTube. You can email me if you're an old school MF old head. Shoot me an email. It's all the way in the bottom of the description. All my links are there. But yeah, thank you for listening. Bye.